Keith said, have they talked about Lou popping for EPO?
I've just been Googling it there. I can't find anything.
Is that true? I haven't heard that.
There's another comment down lower saying...
Where'd you see that? Lads, oh my God. Where did you see that? That can't be true. That's not true.
Did you hear the Lou news?
Lads, show us. Where did you hear this?
Please.
Whoa.
Tell us.
Whoa.
We actually can't continue the live stream until somebody chimes in.
No way. I can't.
Has anybody else heard of this?
Maybe that's why you can be the words. All things Jim.
All things Jim.
Hold the phone. I'm holding the phone.
I'm vigorously typing.
Lads, for any Irish people here as well, I'm trying to set up broadband with a certain Irish company who used to be known as Aircom or Schmearcom, and it is a process.
I'll
look at the Instagram there. Lou testing positive. There's no fucking way. Surely not.
Surely not.
Lads, you're having us on. Is this April Fools?
Surely not.
No, it's a joke.
Did All Things Jim talk about it on their podcast, maybe?
Nah, I'm seeing nothing, lads. Is it a joke? Are they a joke? Are they having
Is this a joke?
All Things Jim Twitter has it. Stand by for Lou Xiaojun positive test news. Oh yeah, it's on his Twitter. The ITA notifies Chinese. No. What website is that? ITA Sport International Testing Agency. Oh my God, Lou Xiaojun is tested. Is that the correct one? Is this? Go down. Scroll on. What are they saying? The ITA reports that a sample collected during an out-of-competition test mission on 30th October from Xiaojun Lu, awaited from China, has returned an adverse analytical finding for the prohibited peptide hormone erythropoietin. EPO is prohibited under 2022 WADA prohibited list as peptide hormone S2. EPO stimulates erythropoiesis, red blood cell production, and can modify the body's capacity to transport oxygen. EPO are prohibited at all times in and out of competition. Blah 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 blah.
Oh my goodness!
Is this the Lou Xiaojun is tested? There, change the name of the chat. Change the name of the stream. Post the link there in the thing so the lads can see.
You can't post a link.
You can post links.
Can I?
As the overlord of the stream, you can post links. So
if anyone wants to check out the
my God, I would like confirmation if this is the same Lou Xiaojun. So weird that he was taking EPO. That's so stupid. That would the only way you could probably talk about that is in terms of training capacity. Maybe as an older lifter, it might benefit him. Maybe a little bit might be beneficial, but just he'd have to do a shitload of training to combat the adverse effects of that.
I know bodybuilders take EPO,
but a lot of them talk about it. John Meadows talked about this, that it was useless.
Yeah, we don't know. Just because it's useless doesn't mean they wouldn't take it.
Well, okay, useless is probably a strong word.
Yeah,
it's definitely going to help, especially at his age. It'd probably be in addition to getting in shape. I just really want to be. Is this
real?
Is this no? I'm sure it's real, but is that the same Lou Xiaojun? Is that the?
Well, it's IWF.
Yeah, but
is there multiple Lou Xiaojuns in the Chinese national team?
Oh my God! Yeah. Truly, this is shocking news. If so,
this is.
My God, we were just here answering some questions, mind your own business. So I'm going to look up athletes. So results. You should be able to check athletes and see all the competition history. So if it's him. So for anyone just joining us, apparently,
yeah, it's strange that EPO is what he got popped for.
Maybe the ITA really are busting down on people. They caught Dimitri Chumak and Zacharias Bonat there recently. This is Kalioyan said literally is breaking news.
This is breaking right now.
Thank you so much to whoever let us know. That's mental.
Yeah.
I could be what are the chances of being a different Lou Xiaojun though? That has to be the same Lou Xiaojun. Lou is an off-brand copy of Lou. See, they do spell his name sometimes at the international competition.
Do they spell it like that?
LYU, yeah. Maybe that's why he didn't compete at Worlds, because he would have known in October.
Yeah.
Shout out to Gregor for
This
having the
is
news.
so interesting.
Quick, get Gregor on the phone.
The use of EPO, I don't think is crazily shocking.
I'm messaging Gregor right now.
The use of EPO, I don't think is incredibly shocking. I know the Chinese team massively value hypertrophy work due to its angiogenic effect, so its ability to increase the proliferation of blood vessel tissue or blood transporting tissue. So they obviously highly value the readily available red blood cells.
But it would make sense, like, in terms of nutrient transportation.
Yeah,
like
it makes sense, like. And when you're an athlete who's being as regularly monitored as Lou is, there's no real risk. Sorry, there's a lessened risk. Also, that could be a little tinsy-wincy bit of EPO.
A little tinsy-wincy with bit.
Just a little.
So I know Broderick has talked about athletes who, people want to take it to the limit a little bit, or some bodybuilders. So if you look at like percentages of your blood in terms of like red blood cells, they'll be looking for like 50% is like critical. If Dara came into the hospital and it never was not taking any performance enhancing drugs, which we know he's on a shitload of drugs right now, but if he went to the hospital and you had a red blood cell count of like 50% or more, they'd be like, oh my God, you're going to have a fucking stroke.
Yeah.
But when it comes to for bodybuilders and athletes, like, they'll push it to like 50% or more, maybe like 52 or 3.
Yeah.
But without the use of EPO to have the red blood cell count for nutrient transportation, oxygen, actual nutrients. It feels like when you say nutrient transportation, it's like one of those gimmicky words, you know?
Yes.
Like a tool in the toolbox or something, you know?
Yeah.
But it is
it's super important.
It is a thing, like nutrient transportations.
Yeah.
So apparently, for anyone just joining us, so Gregor posted from the International Testing Agency's website. We were just doing a Q&A, and some of the lads let us know that Lou Xiaojun has tested positive for EPO. It all looks very legit. That's the ITA. Is that actually the ITA's website?
That is the ITA's website. Yeah.
The link
Keeping
is
sport real.
I'll ping the link there. That's actually so funny. So Greg Duchette made a natty or not video on him and talking about him being natty. This is so funny.
Greg Duchette's natty or not video on him was one of the dumbest things I've seen on the internet.
Lads, I'm not happy Lou tested positive, to be honest with you.
No, because it means if they're coming for Lou, they're coming for everyone.
They might get the Americans.
No, come on now. Come on now. Be real.
Not with Gregor a drink off on the American side. Am I right, guys?
Oh my God. Not with old Gregory.
Keith, well done. No, not our boy Lou. Seb is going to be
crying.
Okay, Seb will be crying. Someone get Seb on the phone.
Message Seb right now.
Message Seb. Oh my God.
Someone said Lee Dayen is currently sweating buckets.
Lee Dayen is sweating anabolic acid. Right?
You know what? They can't show up the world's looking the way they're looking.
I said it. You can't do that.
You can't. Lads, have a bit of, is it hubris?
No. Hubris would be. Oh, it is hubris.
Yeah.
They're acting in a way where it's blatantly ridiculous.
Yeah. Like, just chill out a small bit, you know?
Oh my God. Why? To be fair, if Lou was ever going to test positive, now was the time in his career.
100%. Now is probably the time where they're leveraging compounds more than any other time in his career.
Yeah.
You know, he was so far out of shape. He's so old. John Seller said, at least have the good grace to rock up looking like Murati.
Yeah.
Like, that's funny and it's a joke, but it's also, you can't be turning up looking like your skin is made of paper.
Yeah.
To a weightlifting competition.
I could see the EPO being useful in conjunction with all the other stuff. It would just be so scary taking EPO because you don't want your blood like syrup.
Whew.
As delicious as maple syrup is.
So there's a book called The 7 Deadly Sins. I think I did a book review on this channel.
I think you did too.
In that book, David Williams talks about cyclists in the 90s taking so much EPO that they'd go to bed with a blood monitor or with a heart rate monitor on. Their heart rates used to get so low that they used to die in their sleep. So if you imagine, if you take enough EPO,
Who died in their sleep?
cyclists used to die in their sleep.
Did they?
Yeah.
Jeez.
So what they used to have to do is, and in the Tour de France, they'd sleep on tour buses or in kind of camper vans. And you'd hear people's monitors going off in the middle of the night. Their heart rate was below 20 beats per minute or 15 beats per minute because their blood is so thick and those red blood cells aren't being used for anything. When you'd hear a beep, 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 beep of the heart rate monitor going off, it would wake the cyclist up. Cyclists, you'd hear them getting out of their camper van, taking a bike off the rack, and then they go and cycle for an hour to get the blood moving again and then go back to sleep.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So for anyone just joining us, there's a link pinned there. We were literally here doing a Q&A as we always do most Tuesdays and Thursdays at the moment. And Keith and from the other lads let us know that Lou tested positive. Gregor from All Things Gym on his Twitter had the story. It's on the International Testing Agency's website. Lou Xiaojun, arguably the biggest name in weightlifting, has tested positive for erythropoietin or EPO, generally an aerobic sport or aerobic-based sport.
I'd say that B test sample is there, and they're just looking at it like this in the lab, and they're just like,
yeah.
Nobody touch it.
There's a Spanish weightlifter, Ruiz. He was the 102 or 109 recently. He tested positive for testosterone 3 or 4 years ago, and then his B sample accidentally got destroyed. My favorite doping story of all time, right? And like, we've been privy to a lot of stuff behind the scenes that we won't ever be able to talk about, and I think people know that, and we know people who've been around for a long time. But my favorite one is one we can tell, because this is from Gregory Trinkoff's book. Mm-hmm. Gregory Trinkoff, who's now in America, who's got an asylum in America, obviously, who no longer helps anyone with doping, probably not the American teams anyway. But anyway, so there is a story, Gregory Trinkoff, in his book, a great book as well. I would highly recommend everyone go listen or read Gregory Trinkoff's book. And he's talking about a thrower, and I think one of the lads, I think Andrew Peck, you might have named the thrower. He was taking so much stanazolol that his samples were so contaminated. There was such a high concentration of stanazolol in his samples that he left so much residue on the systems that they had to do a wash cycle in between to ensure a very thorough wash cycle, a full wash down of a system, so the next person wouldn't get a false positive, because people are getting false positives from his levels of stanazolol. I might like that just because of lab stuff, and I can appreciate how funny it is having to wash down stuff like that. But it's so funny. That's my favorite doping story of all time. I think that was just one of my favorite ones.
Gems 90 or JSEM 94 says, sorry, bro, but that's an overblown myth. I follow cycling and I'm an amateur cyclist, hybrid athlete, and no cyclist died in droves in the 90s. So if you go to Canadian Cycling Magazine and an article called History of Professional Cyclists Who Died from Heart Attacks, you'll see a list of around 20 cyclists that died in the 90s.
Fuck.
Tommy Simpson died, common blend of performance-enhancing drugs, mixed amphetamines, died due to heart issues. Vincent Lopez Carril died due to heart issues. His medical records were brought up during the Festina Fair trials. Marc de Meyer died from heart attack. And then there's a French book referencing that. Bert Oosterbosch died of heart arrhythmia due to the use of EPO, but that hasn't been proven, but it's definitely from the use of EPO. Joachim Havolox developed heart arrhythmia, which was causing him to retire at 24, then died at the age of 26. Was suspected that the problems were associated with the abuse of performance-enhancing drugs. Tim Powells died during a race in Belgium. Steve Vermouth died at 28 from a heart attack while training.
Okay. We get the idea.
Loads of them died.
I'm trying to call Seb now. I'm genuinely. Oh, no, he's not there. Oh my god. We need Seb's live reaction, lads, because Seb probably hasn't seen this yet. I'm trying to call it. Seb, answer your phone.
Oh my god, Seb, answer the phone.
I'll try Zach. That's return. Oh. Did he? No, he didn't.
Someone was like, chat, is the title clickbait or that?
Let me see if we can get Zach. Will love this. I'll try.
Oh my god! Imagine if someone just said, "Don't pop Lasha." Imagine if Lasha got popped.
Maybe that's why his performance is down as well.
Oh my goodness!
I'd love to know where they tested Lou. Was it in China?
It said in China.
In China. They caught a
So-
Chinese athlete in China. That is unheard of, lads.
Out of competition testing mission on 30th of October.
Missions. Fucking spec ops going into China. So generally the thing before, and it was kind of a known thing around the international athletes or whatever, was that when the lifters would go, not just China now, a lot of different countries that required visas, with the bigger government, state bodies, there'd be kind of a notification system that when the WADA they try to come in with external testers, they would let people know, and the athletes either would be present or in some cases doppelgangers, which there's proven cases of doppelgangers, by the way. The doppelgangers would then be brought out, or they would have time to clear out their systems, or they'd hold them in customs for a while in terms of visa.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Imagine being the person in the lab when that popped up.
Oh my god.
Even though
They
you
would
would
know.
you
They
would
would
know.
know.
Yeah.
They would know. They would just
Yeah.
have a random number.
Oh, it's so interesting.
Lads, I cannot believe Liu Xiaojun tested positive. No
Does he have any previous? No. See,
previous.
The thing is, as well, it's very unlikely that it's like, oh, they just didn't pay the bribe this year, because China were passing it through political means more than they were through like the Eastern European countries, where it would just be a direct transactional thing. They just pay a certain amount.
Oh my god, I genuinely thought Lou would never test positive.
Yeah, crazy.
Maybe. Do you wonder if they sacrificed him?
Oh,
Call of Duty, what a warfare. Oh god,
oh my god.
Jesus, yeah. Trying to break the
Jesus,
vibes.
lads.
Said Zach hasn't woken up yet. Damn, I wanted Seb's live reaction. Maybe Seb will come online. That'd have been funny. Seb's gonna take this hard. Seb's gonna take this
I
hard.
feel like Seb would be really disappointed.
Yes. Lucas is saying maybe a strategy from China, give illusion that the Chinese team is clean. Lou is practically retired. Very possible. You'd never know. You'd always be surprised at the strategies, you know, in those kind of things where they're like, because we used to think as well that people did sacrifice athletes, and Gregory Trinkov confirmed that in the Netflix documentary that there was sacrificial lambs, people who were not quite at the top, or people who were previously on the top or on a downward trend, were sacrificed very fast, you know. And Lou was certainly in that second group where he could easily be a sacrificial lamb.
It's such a big name as well,
And I think this is an easy story for China to cover up as well, where they're like, look, he was on the comeback as an older athlete, and he'll say this now, where he's like, oh, I had to take these things to get back to those levels, you know. So there's an easy cover story for this then as well. Jesus. Genuinely shocking news, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I was not expecting this on a Thursday afternoon.
Jesus, lads. And we just popped on a quick little live stream.
Yeah, just to do our Q&As. Why do they need sacrificial lambs? So it's to show either the International Testing Agency or WADA that they're catching athletes, and if you catch some of your better athletes, it makes it look like you're serious about it, because you wouldn't sacrifice that athlete, surely not. And then in terms of the Olympic Committee, if you're catching big athletes, it looks like you're doing your job as well, you know, and you're catching people with meaningful athletes. So that's why it's kind of like an optics thing. The thing is, though, it's kind of silly because everybody knows the game. Everyone involved knows the game. Everyone in the International Testing Agency knows the game. Everyone in WADA knows the game. Everyone involved knows. And I really don't think those people involved in WADA, and a lot of the top officials like Dick Pound and many other very serious officials that come out and said that they know, they more or less know what's going on in regards to a lot of things. It's mostly it's only the layperson who believes that sport is kind of clean in that regard. But yeah. That's kind of, so they would like sacrifice things to make things look good. Yeah, I agree. Like Lou will always be a legend. I don't think this to any actual weightlifting fan, this won't this mark his legacy.
I'm just trying to see, do WADA have a statement of?
Alex said our video will be late because he needs to watch the live stream instead.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
I love how the ITA posted that so soon, to October, November, December. Usually these things drag on for a long time, but they make the announcement quite soon after. I bet they love making those announcements.
Oh, I'd say so.
Yeah.
I'd say they came into work this morning being like, today's the day, boys. We've got it.
Imagine, yeah. But they might even know who Lou is, like, in terms of the... Actually, I don't know this now, but the ITA... Is the ITA just for weightlifting, or is it is it across all sports? If you go to the ITA, I assume it's all sports. But weightlifting was very naughty.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was slightly in denial because I was kind of like, surely not. Surely. Judo.
So, who we are. WADA don't have a statement up, and they've had statements up yesterday and today.
See, the ITA doing the testing,
Yeah.
They,
So, International Testing Agency is an international organization constituted as a not-for-profit foundation based in Lausanne, Switzerland. Its mission is to manage anti-doping programs independent from sport or political powers for international federations, major event organizers, and all other anti-doping organizations requesting support. Okay, so they were probably tasked by the IWF for that testing, or by the IOC. I'd love to know who. Oh my god.
Yeah, so
latest news.
do you know as well with the EPO as well, they'd have to test them very soon after he administrated that. So when they were there on their mission, on their spec ops mission in China, they obviously surprised them. So they must have I'm so surprised that in China, he wouldn't have known that they were coming to test them. EPO is notoriously short. One of the major things with EPO testing was, for a while, it was easier to test for the plastic residue from needles because, or the plastic from the IV drip, than it was to test EPO as a viable option or alternative.
Okay.
So then they started using glass intravenous tubing to prevent the plastic residue because they were testing for that. So EPO, most peptides or short chain actions like that are notoriously fast clearing, like growth hormone. The extended time went from like 12 hours to 24 hours. For a while, you couldn't even test for growth hormone. You just tested for changes in IGF or possibilities, but it was very hard to detect growth hormone. So his peptides are notoriously hard to test for, So it's so interesting that he was obviously administering EPO around the time of the testers, and it's surprising that they got to him in time, to be honest. I bet you there's a
Did you read that comment?
I read James's comment, yeah.
Andrew Peck with the truest of true comments. Oh my god. EPO is such an interesting one.
I bet you feel alive on EPO. I bet you feel great. I bet you're just like...
It's like the intravenous stem cells where it feels like you have lightning in your veins.
No, but I just bet you feel peppy, I just probably to a certain extent, then when your red blood cell gets over that 52 or 3% marker, and you just end up feeling like you're going to die.
Yeah.
Your big puffy red face. Yeah.
Yeah, it would definitely be very advantageous.
Jesus, nobody's safe now. Everyone must be shitting their pants if they are...
I'd say Lashes, they're just like...
If they're getting Lou, there's no one safe. Lads, the most shocking thing about this is not that a Lou tested positive, so the Chinese athlete tested positive in China. I think this is the craziest thing.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, nobody's safe. Nobody's safe.
Oh my god.
And Nino didn't compete at the Worlds. I wonder if Nino's tested positive now as well.
Oh my god.
Could you imagine? He put up a post today saying he's still training for Tokyo or first Paris. Sure, there's no point going to Paris anymore now if you can't see Lou lift.
Oh my god. What's happening in the world? Why can't things just stay as they were?
No. Yeah, so John, you're just asking spelled differently. They said Lou. But you'll see in some of the international competitions, and he's like IWF profiles is spelled LYU as well. So from the looks of things, it's the Liu Xiaojun. I can't imagine it's the coincidence to be so high, I would say.
Someone said Carlos is next. It's
Yeah.
so hard for clean athletes like Carlos.
Yeah, like the whole American team here now is going to win stuff. Like, they're really striving for it. Which weightlifters will suddenly retire after this? You'd be anxious if you're an international weightlifter.
Oh, I'd say your palms are sweating.
Yeah.
Nobody is safe.
Nobody's safe now.
It's like, when Barack Obama just came into the press conference, like, ladies and gentlemen,
We got him.
we got him.
No, that wasn't Barack Obama.
Wasn't it?
No, that's a TikTok meme though, is it? I love
Yeah.
that song.
Ladies and gentlemen,
They definitely,
got him.
whoever tests him is just it's just rock hard. We got him. Mean. Oh, the one where they're busting in.
Yeah.
Can they hear that?
Can you hear Griff's computer?
Ladies and gentlemen, we got
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
Just shows nobody is safe.
Nobody say I can't get over this. A Chinese athlete testing positive for straight up gear. There was 2 Chinese female athletes who tested positive in the SWAT of Inquisition retest there a couple of years ago. They tested 2 Chinese females from 2008. They tested positive for GHRPs, or growth hormone releasing peptides. But for just and Lao Hui, I can never say it right, lads. Tested positive for drostanolone, but that was widely regarded as a political stabbing.
Okay.
Political stabbing, a lot going on there.
You know who took the least flack ever for testing positive?
Who?
Dimitri Klafka.
That was clearly a war thing.
That positive test just went whom.
I sue for absolutely no one. That was a shock. Like, I assume nobody was shocked by that.
Jeez, Andrew Peck is on one here in the comments.
Yeah, but I can't get over it. I cannot get over it.
I'd say there's just like a lab in China as well who were responsible for making sure he was clean. There's just like, we just need you to come back into work there for a quick sec.
Yeah.
And they just come in and there's just a hit squad there. Yeah, a whole lab building just empty.
Yeah. Someone messed up hard here. Unless it actually gives an insight into their system in some ways, or you could make some highly probable inferences. It's obviously, when internal, it could just be whole shoe down as much as possible until needed. There's obviously no fear of internal testing.
The other thing is, when Lou's getting back in shape, and 30th of October the test was taken, they're not doing any longitudinal, or you could assume they're not doing tests right then to see what his blood levels are. Whereas I think if it was the end of November and he was coming to Worlds, they would be probably testing on a weekly basis.
Jack C, they obtained my piss sample from 2013 European Juniors. God. Do you know what the European Juniors? There's only like 2 athletes tested for the whole competition.
No way.
Yeah. Lifetime ban. It doesn't really matter, I suppose, for Lou at this age. No more lifetime bans. You can just get consecutive larger bans, but it was deemed unethical to give athletes a lifetime ban. Even though the weight of evidence suggests that you probably should be given a lifetime ban, because technically the benefits are permanent in terms of anabolics. You get like satellite cell differentiation that's permanent, but no more lifetime bans. So usually, if they want to ban you for life, they'll just get you for 8 years and kill your career.
Yeah,
just like the person who was handling Liu Xiaojun's drug regime.
That was the thing with Vanderlei Silva when he got popped again.
Yes.
They gave him a lifetime ban, and he was midway through his career, and he's just done.
Yeah.
It is. I think it's unethical.
The Iranian super heavy, Hussein, if anyone knows his full name, Ben, it's literally pinned at the top. the news article from the ITA. It's the ITA Sports News, so can you see it at the top there? KCB said that the first stage testing, he showed them looking fresh out of POW camp, was trying to wait all over 6 weeks. Hubris on their part to shoot those YouTube videos. Yeah, it was surprising. I was surprised they did post those videos of him.
I was so surprised.
Very surprising.
I'm just seeing what dates those YouTube videos are going up.
They were kind of when they were on like August, September.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try Zach again and see if he's awake. Zach, come on, it's like 12 o'clock. Zach, wake up.
Oh my god. Lads, this is massive. This is genuinely a
It's not even massive that obviously it's huge that Lou tested positive, but what it's bigger for is for the entire sport of weightlifting. Oh my god.
oh yeah. See, week 7, is it?
I'm just gonna make an impromptu thumbnail here for this live stream to change so people click on it after.
Yeah.
Okay,
26th of September.
It's Zach. Zach's not awake. Zach, wake up. Zach's live reaction would be the best. Zach's live reaction for this would be my favorite. Zach, come on, wake up. Zach.
Lads, if one of you is near Zach there, will you start shouting at him?
Yeah, surely there's someone in.
I'm okay. So the training video stopped going up at the end of September.
Okay. Yeah, there wasn't much. It did stop very abruptly, didn't it, actually? I wonder if they knew at the time of the test. They were like, oh shit, we're caught.
Jeez, they hardly did. So sorry, week 9 was put up on, so this is 10th of October to the 16th of October.
Okay. And is that the last one?
Yeah, from what I can, sorry, week 9. Yeah, the only 2 videos after that, from what I can see, are the 2 progressions, deadlift progression and front squat progression.
Those videos did so well. Holy
Yeah.
shit. The week 9 is 313,000 views.
Yeah.
As Lou is the biggest possible.
It's the biggest, besides Lasha, this is the, even though there's more implications from Lou being popped because of the whole China thing. Squat jerk journalist sweating.
To be fair to the squat jerk journalist, I never really saw him saying anything about that whole rhetoric.
No,
I think he stayed away from it. To be fair to him, I don't think I never remember him pushing the Chinese are clean or anything. Like I never remember seeing him ever talk about it. And that's the best way.
Yeah.
Just don't talk about it unless directly asked. Didn't give the minimal effort answer. You know, to be fair to him, I did never see him ever talking mad shit.
No.
As a kid say.
I think Seb is just sitting in Birmingham somewhere just with like a Lou t-shirt and he's just crying into it.
No, his weightlifting book has just gone on fire.
Yeah.
Lad, did you want to go to Greg Duchette's latest video? Comments.
Oh my god.
Oh. I'd love to know what else he was taking as well. That'd be very interesting. There was obviously other stuff in his system. If they caught him for EPO, he was obviously taking other stuff at the time.
You know what's really interesting is that the genetic doping or gene doping rhetoric is pushed so hard on Chinese athletes in general.
Yeah.
This kind of shows that clearly it's not just genetic doping they're using. Maybe for the androgenic side of things and anabolic side of things it is, but they're using some sort of ancillary compounds as well, you know?
Well, yeah, why wouldn't they be? If you can, like, why wouldn't they be?
Yeah.
The
Lalpin says Sikadrol. Sikadrol is you can't get that too easy, lads. Anybody who's asking where we're getting this from, the article is pinned in the comments here, so it's pinned at the top of your comments.
Did you sign us out of Adobe?
No.
Did you change your password?
No.
Did you stop paying it?
No. Check Premiere Pro.
Is this that it?
It's just 3 of the things.
I need to make a thumbnail for this.
What's a TLDR for the late joiners?
Too long, didn't read. Liu Xiaojun test positive for EPO in China.
If you want to read the article, it's just been put up on the ITA.
Is it... Okay, I'll send you there in a second. Yeah, it's just above. Lads, I would love to stop paying Adobe. It's some piece of shit. Sorry. Adobe is a load of wank. Sorry. For person. Apparently After Effects is good, but the problem is now is I know how to use Adobe quite well.
Yeah, changing systems is just
Yeah, Premiere Pro on the monthly regularly gives issues. Dara's sick of me giving out about it, but I hate it. But there's nothing else. I haven't made the switch. If anyone's recommendation, we're happy to pay for it.
we pay enough for this.
The good thing for Adobe is that you can just use multiple people on one account when you pay for it. As a company, it's quite handy just to someone said read, bro, you know we can't wait to read. Do you know that sign from the Simpsons movie? I always remember this. It's the Arnold Schwarzenegger character, and they put like 5 options to get out of the dome. And he's like, I'm paid to lead, not to read.
So a lot of people, I think, who are new to the stream were just asking about why weightlifters would use EPO. So EPO obviously increases red blood cell count and the ability of your red blood cells to carry oxygen. So thicker, juicier blood will basically carry fuel and carry substrate to the muscles. Will just allow you to train better. Will get oxygen to the muscles better. It's very, very good for allowing you to train better as a weightlifter. A lot of bodybuilders would have taken it. Obviously, we know it more from endurance sports. We know it more from cycling, running, cross-country skiing. We know it a lot from the UFC. The UFC was in its heyday. EPO used to be very popular.
I'd never thought I made a thumbnail about Lou testing positive.
Oh my god.
Oh man, London was the first weightlifting Olympics I saw. Him and Ilya just lads, this feels this is a change of an era, lads. This is it, I'm telling you. But still, I'm just gonna make the thumbnail, gotta get them views.
Sorry, Nick Dave. Baker says, what do you think the best drugs are for performance increases in corporate environments? Seems most billionaire CEOs are on are on at least TRT. Yeah, definitely the anti-aging stuff is very, very popular there. So hormone optimization therapy. Then you probably have something like glucose regulation stuff to make sure they're not metabolically aging too quickly. And then you have the cognitive enhancers, I think, are massive in that area. So drugs commonly used for treatment of ADHD and things like that. But you'll see definitely a lot of cognitive enhancement drugs are used.
You'll see a lot of IV drips as well at the moment. You'll see things like vitamin C, NAD+, B vitamins, things like that, optimization, those kind of things. You'll see some of the more like progressive, like Joe Rogan-esque kind of ones. We'll be looking at things like hyperbaric chambers, cold sauna have taken off a lot in regards to those. But yeah, you'll see mostly that TRT will be a high percentage of CEOs will be on that kind of thing in terms of corporate environments. Nicotine is actually significantly improving of cognitive performance. However, it obviously has a lot of downfalls. Nicotine addiction seems to be largely genetic. So some people can take nicotine, have no problem. Other people then are very susceptible to the addictive capabilities of nicotine. You get like temporary increases in maybe not usable IQ, but certainly IQ tests, whether that means it transfers any meaningful effect in the real world. And then you'll have those drips and stuff like that. And you'll have the hormone replacements. Peptides are becoming very popular as well. So like GHRP, so growth hormone releasing peptides related to that. And a lot of them will exercise and stuff like that. They'll be in condition, but there'll be a lot of just caffeine.
Just good old-fashioned drugs.
Yeah, it's just straight up drugs, TRT and drugs. And they'll... obviously, someone said cocaine at KCB. You're 100% right.
I think you'll often see it on Project Chavez's story where it's like the meme, the poster people have on the wall where there is no special pill. and it's just like no is wiped out, and then special pill. Modafinil is the special pill in Broderick size.
Oh my God. I'm looking for a nice.
I know
That's a nice one there.
Broderick commonly says that 3 things that every adult male should be taking is modafinil, metformin, and caffeine.
Caffeine.
Uh,
Yeah, he loves metformin.
yeah,
It's very interesting.
very interesting. Yeah,
I've got
this
it.
has Ilya vibes all over it. I have a feeling a few Chinese athletes tested positive, and they sacrificed Liu because he's the oldest and least likely to medal. It could possibly be.
In the Irish Taekwondo Association tested positive, is it? The ITA. Hey.
Hey.
Oh my God. What a strange thumbnail. Didn't think we'd be making this thumbnail today. Keeping sport real. Lads, come off it. Get out of that. Oh my God.
An international testing mission.
Yeah, international testing mission.
Oh, you know, it's just
What a fickle web we weave when we first learn to deceive.
oh my God, it's so shocking.
It's genuinely, it is really shocking. But I'm still making the thumbnail, you know?
I'm supposed to be going meeting my friends tonight. How can I go out and socialize with people when this has just happened?
What'll I put on the thumbnail, lads? Liu Xiaojun. Wait.
I think this.
Liu Xiaojun EPO? Question mark. What would catch your eye? This is great. This is great, like, experiment for us in the business. What catches your eye when you look at thumbnails, lads? When you're looking at a thumbnail, what is it? I currently have Liu at the Olympics and then the ITA, keeping sport real.
I think that screenshot that I just took should go.
It's too hard to read. There's too many words there. They're not here to read.
Oh my God. EPO as well is just so interesting. There's so much going on here.
Gregor said that's why the Chinese are so average, he thinks, this year. What did I put it there? Positive.
No.
On drugs. Lads, tell us, what are you getting? Ped oops. I ped oops. I think there needs to be a syringe in the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Yeah, a needle. I think a needle needs to be in there. But it's like a cartoon needle?
No,
Or
like a needle with a bottle of EPO.
Actually, Alex is watching. Alex used to be watching. Maybe Alex.
Alex, if you're here, make us a thumbnail,
make us
please.
a thumbnail before you finish the live
Please.
stream. I have the one from Lou in the 2020 Olympics because it's a really nice quality one. I actually can't believe this. It's a mental. That's probably the biggest thing that could happen to weightlifting, other than weightlifting getting kicked out of the Olympics.
Yeah, sorry, that's another massive news day, but
Yeah,
I can't.
Alex is making it dumb. Thanks, Alex.
Thank you, Alex.
So I had to use my brain there for a minute.
Oh my God, lads.
Can't believe it. I really want to get Zach's live reaction.
Try him once more.
I'll try him again. He's surely awake at this stage.
Try him once more.
It's 5 hours behind. 4 hours. I'll try him again. I'll try him.
I know what t-shirts are going to be on special offer sale next week.
Oh my God. S'more saying, are we happy or sad? I honestly, Lou day one was probably one of my favorite lifters and always has been. So it sucks for him. Are we still here? Can you still hear us? So yeah, it sucks that Lou tested positive, but it doesn't really mean anything for Lou's career, to be fair. Like they're not going to take his money away, you know.
No.
They're not going to do anything to him. Like, so it's they're not going to take his medals because this is only October, so they'll take nothing before this, you know. There's no retroactive testing, so he'll keep all his Olympic medals.
Yeah, I don't. For me, anyway, it's not like, oh, I'm delighted that this athlete got popped. I'm always sad when an athlete gets popped because it's their job, and we deal with athletes every day, professional and amateur, and it's just gut wrenching to think that that can be taken away from someone so quickly, you know. So it is, it's just crazy. Like the magnitude of this story is unbelievable for us anyway to get our head around, Joe. Like the idea of a Chinese weightlifter getting popped, the fact that it's Lou that's getting popped, the fact that he's getting popped for EPO, and then the fact that he's getting popped for EPO in a test that I believe from the reading of the article was done in China by a testing mission. There's there's a lot of components here that are shocking, you know.
Finn, I'm just showing there that, but I won't read it out to the chat. I'll still keep that. Very interesting. That's what I was wondering. Yeah, you know, you just kind of have to play the part from his point of view. Paddy's saying, I wonder the team is staying adopt the bin, finally getting their own back. There has to be some political thing going on here. Someone surely. Who was behind the ITA? Interesting, they're generally going, but they went after. They got the Ukrainian athletes. They got the retroactive testing of Clock Off and a few others.
Yeah,
it's so interesting. But remember we made a video on how to catch dopers. If you really wanted to catch someone, it's actually not that hard to catch someone. You just test them all the time, or test them they're not expected in a period of time where you think they'll be taking drugs. Victor Conte said this years ago. He said the WADA weren't testing people at the time when they are most likely to be taking drugs. He took the Athletics Federation before Olympics, saying people should have been tested midway, like 6 months prior to the Olympics, and they were hardly testing people. And then like a few weeks before, and they're testing loads of athletes, but they weren't actually getting anything from, you know, they were not taking stuff then. So the ITA obviously mean business. They wouldn't take a bribe from Dimitri Chumak.
Come on, you guys.
Take the.
Oh my God.
Come on, take the bribe.
Lads, this is crazy.
I thought it was a joke when they were talking about the Twitter thing first, or before it.
I didn't even know All Things Jim had a Twitter.
Now you do.
Why EPO though? Anyone who's wondering why EPO, just go back around 10 minutes in the live stream, or go back to the start of the throwback to the CrossFitter that got his pal to do his piss test for him, but then got popped anyway because his pal was pissing off.
John Sutter said it's all our fault because the ITA watched their videos. I can't imagine. Maybe I can't imagine the ITA are watching us. Maybe they're waiting to pick up some clues.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know what to do. I don't think this has anything to do with ITA or the IWF being less corrupt. I'd say what probably happened is they had no say over this.
Yeah.
The external body really wanted to catch someone. You know, the ITA is full of Americans. Like, you know, sorry to the Americans, but you know that's true, don't you?
Yeah.
It's full of American people. Like, they're just never good athletes themselves. Never very good at sports. They're really mad at other people who are naturally talented at sport but want to use that. That's what it's for. Like, you know, that's what the ITA is full of.
Someone asked up above. Oh, where is this? I don't know. Is he kind of trolling? But does this ruin the fairy tale of top athletes being clean, like what Lance Armstrong did to cycling? To be honest, I think
not in weightlifting.
Not in weightlifting. I think everybody understands in weightlifting that everybody is on drugs at the top level. You know, I certainly don't think, like with cycling, you have a lot of amateur cyclists who actually thought these athletes were clean. You know, I don't think anybody in weightlifting, I don't think the vast majority of weightlifting fans believe any of the top weightlifters to be clean.
Yeah. I think, see, there's a lot of people who know Liu Xiaojun peripherally, like more dates knew who Liu Xiaojun was. And a lot of them would be kind of peripheral fans, and they're in a position, you've seen the comments in different places, they're like, oh, I think he could be clean, you know?
Yeah.
Which a lot of those people on like Greg Duchette's video. How funny is that he made that like 3 weeks ago and then this came out? Yeah. Yep, it's
lads, I don't know what to say.
I actually don't know what to say anymore. I think it's just shocking. Greg basically made a video saying that he thought Liu Xiaojun was natural, and he said his numbers weren't that impressive and he did more than him naturally. So
it was one of the dumbest videos I think I've ever seen in the realms of doping or performance.
Snore said, I hope Smash Mazer won't get caught.
So anyone wanting to know why EPO, just skip back through.
You know what I say as well? A little bit of everything is going to help. a little bit like
Absolutely.
you could be a 20-year-old athlete, you know, and some of those things would make minimal difference, like that the addition of the EPO. If he's a 22-year athlete in his prime, already on a cycle of something or a course or whatever, him taking a little bit of EPO is going to make that much of a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Liu Xiaojun in his late 30s coming back after a year off, a little bit of EPO is going to make a difference. It's going to be noticeable for him in terms of his improvement, you know, or what he's coming back from.
Jesus.
I wonder is any
Andrew Beck is on storm in the comments. Just saying
oh
that.
my god. Oh, we've said that to be fair. I wonder, is there any difference in terms of metabolite excretion when you're taking EPO for the other drugs you're taking? Or is there anything in relation to, like, I wonder if you took a little bit of EPO, do you get more gains per dose? Like, do you get a better transportation of milligrams? And I wonder, would your blood values be a little bit better, like your kidney values and a few other things, if you were kidney and liver? Maybe not kidney, actually, because your blood pressure would be up.
Yeah,
first.
I was just about to say.
But would your liver values be a little bit better? Was your like total inflammation, so your like C-reactive protein stuff? I wonder, would you see better?
Because you're able to
Yeah,
move more. I think in total, the health, like across the board, health markers would have to come down
yeah.
because of your blood viscosity and the blood pressure.
Pavel, yeah, the screen will be up.
Lads, how dramatic is this?
Willie said, no matter how unclean Lance Armstrong was, he had them all buying them bracelets.
Yeah.
Everyone had those
Everybody
bracelets.
had those.
Everyone had those bracelets. That's fair. Lads, if you're on the video, could you just leave a like now? Because this makes a difference when we post it after. As Paddy did mention.
Yeah, we would love you to like the video. Hanzo Voss says, can you help with the name of the podcast you suggested a long time ago about doping? So it's the Anti-Doping Science Podcast. I'll just double check and make sure it's still up. That was a phenomenal resource for people looking to pass drug tests.
Yeah.
But no, very, very interesting.
Look at the Tom Alex sent.
Oh, yes.
There we go. So fast. You got to get the needle in there, don't you? You kind of have to have it in. What? We weren't even going to do a stream today. We were going to do something else, but then we were like, we'll do this thing.
Okay, so the name of the podcast is Anti-Doping Science Podcast. There's only 4 episodes up. They're from 2018. Very, very good podcast. That guy actually works up for Ovada now, I think.
I think his name is Alex as well, or is there something like that?
I think
he did the trainer ball one, and he did one on Alex Jones. Not Alex Jones.
Alex Jones getting popped.
John Jones getting popped. Yeah, John Jones.
He did a 2-parter on John Jones and Turinabol.
He did the East German doping as well. That was very interesting.
A lot of those are taken down, apparently, by the looks of this.
Oh, were they?
There's only 4 episodes up now.
Maybe we should try and talk. I think he's reached out to us before. We should probably try to get him on. F tier physique. Why do you guys think footballers never pop? Complete disregard for organizations. I'd say it's similar to NFL, NBA, NHL, all those things. Like it's a closed loop. Rugby, for example,
Jesus Christ,
whether it's league,
Jesus Christ,
whether it's a rugby league or otherwise, it's just no reason to. It's a business. It'd be like me ousting Dara or something. Like,
yeah,
it'd be like. No, it would make no sense.
It would literally be like me being like, "Why are you listening to Garf? Garf was drunk."
Yeah.
Why are you doing that? Like it wouldn't.
It's think of all the athletes in these national sporting organizations in terms of NBA, soccer, all those as employees of the company. You don't want to be making your company look bad because they're your employees, And yeah, you'll be like, "Oh, we caught him and all this," but no, it makes no football. Never.
Jeez, lads, what a day!
What a mad time. Alex Jones could be on like Anadrol there, so he's mental train.
Could be on trend, yeah.
Yeah.
People are talking about soccer and doping in the comments.
So for anyone looking, there's a link at the top from the ITA. Gregor, Georgie Grofel just did say it's pinned at the top. Liver King is natty. Thank you so much.
The NFL has more problem with painkillers than steroids. I think that's the inherent addictive nature of painkillers. And steroids are the problem because they make your performance better. But yeah, I certainly wouldn't think the prevalence of one would not be higher than the other. I think they're both pretty prevalent.
What's that thumbnail? Is anybody surprised in this case? I can't imagine. I think we're all surprised at the EPO thing.
Alan said steroids in the NFL make your athletes better at fucking each other up. It's so true.
Yeah. So a couple of people actually asked what does it mean for loose future competitions. Lou would be done in this regard. So the minimum ban you can get, I think at the moment, is 4 years. So there's no more 2-year bans from what I can remember. So 4 years will put him into his early 40s. Realistically, I can't see him coming back after that, although who knows. Do another Olympic cycle, that would put him in mid-40s for LA, Los Angeles after Paris.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I'd say this is Lou done. Should have let it go. Shouldn't have come back. Should have just let the career go.
I was literally just thinking that when you were talking about being in your 40s.
Mm-hmm.
Lou had the opportunity to sail off into the sunset, being the greatest weightlifter of all time, or what many people would consider to be the greatest of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's gone now. People can never just call it. People can never just be like, oh, I won a tenner on a scratch card.
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy more scratch cards.
You never leave on top. Yeah, like
People never check out on time.
Do you know what? Rich Froning did.
Rich Froning
Matt
did.
Fraser did.
Yeah.
I think they've the retrospective being in a newer sport and realizing what's going on at the moment. But I bet if the sport was bigger, they wouldn't have been able to call it. Like McGregor, like all the way back to like Michael Jordan or someone. Michael Jordan going playing baseball and coming back.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
If you look at like Ronan O'Gara had
kind of called it. Like Paul McConnell did. Paul
O'Connell just got injured.
But he
just stopped.
But he stopped playing for Ireland, but then kept playing for Munster, and he like retired, and then he got obliterated, and then had to stop. You know, you want to be taken out, not carried out, like in sport.
Yeah, like Paulie just got one injury.
I know you'll defend him to the hills, whatever I say, so it's okay. Like
yeah,
that. You know, but like he got taken out, like he should have stopped like a year before that.
Yeah, it's
people rarely do it.
People never do it.
One thing we didn't call this when he was going coaching, when he wasn't competing at Worlds. I'm upset I didn't call that. I'm upset. I feel like that's.
But here it's so.
Yeah.
You wouldn't. If you had said that, I'd be like, "What are you on about? There's no way a Chinese athlete gets popped."
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. I would have been. Yeah, it was so unlikely I wouldn't even have called it. Which is.
Jordy Williams said Lance would never have been popped if he didn't make a comeback. No, he wouldn't. It literally wouldn't have happened. He would have been, in inverted commas, greatest cyclist of all time. Certainly, he would have been the most popular cyclist in the sport ever. He would have done more to increase the amount of eyes on cycling than anyone had done in history. And he just had to, like, they talk about it being like the 7 deadly sins, you know. And that 7th tour, he just couldn't not do it.
I didn't know that. Was Lance in the same kind
of
Yeah.
Came back, yeah.
You like cycling kind of, didn't you? Or you?
Yeah, I was just really interested in that.
No, I never.
To be honest, I was really interested in cycling because of the doping, you know.
Just love doping.
I just love doping. I wonder if Seb is going to stop talking about Lou now since he doesn't cover banned athletes. Oh
yeah.
No, because he talks about Lash all the time, and Lash has been banned. So.
Oh, Zach's alive. I'm going to call him. Wait, Zach, we're calling you. Answer. Zach's awake, lads. We're going to get to this before we go. He said, give me a few minutes. Give me a minute. Answer, Zach.
Answer the phone, Zach.
Zachary, answer. Zach's awake. Everybody, Zach's awake.
I think we need to shout at him and just say, Lou's been popped.
Yeah.
Can you record your screen?
I can. Is he? Just having a nap. Call me ASAP, babe.
This is huge. Oh, lads. It's just so strange that
Zach, Liu Xiaojun has tested positive. You're on a live stream on YouTube. We were literally doing Q&A. He tested positive for EPO.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
What the fuck? By a test in China.
Wait. So you guys are live right now?
We're
Yeah,
live
yeah.
right now.
We're on the YouTubes.
You're live too.
Oh, fuck.
You are. Say hello.
Yeah, dude. So what's really funny is when I talked with Derek from More Place More Days, I had a video. It was just talking about like, hey, how are the Chinese getting away with this? And Derek like didn't really know what to say because he doesn't really consider Chinese weightlifting. You know,
Yeah.
not many people do. But I tried to explain like these people, like these guys just don't get caught, and there's something going on here, and like how is that possible? And we went into a little bit of a discussion of like what different athletes would take, and I think in it he was like, I definitely wouldn't give, like if I was like helping someone pass drug tests, like I definitely wouldn't give a weightlifter EPO.
Oh, weird.
Like I would think, he was like that's like the drug that you know you would give to someone who has like much more fitness, somebody like you know like a UFC fighter, or like wasn't that what Lance Armstrong had? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing: like red blood cells are dope. Like they help. So like I'm sure EPO can help a ton. But maybe there was some like medical condition or something, or I mean, he probably would have had to have had some sort of TUE then. But
I think his medical
Pretty
condition
wild.
could have been being in his late 30s.
Trying to weightlift.
Yeah.
yeah, aging
Yeah.
is his medical condition. Yeah. Wait. So what? It was out of competition October of 2022.
In China, would you believe? They caught him in China.
Like, how the fuck is that possible?
That's
That
what we're
is-
shocked.
How did they let him take pee from that man?
But what I was saying is, so EPO is like a really short detection time, like up to like 3 days or so. So how was he in a
Yes.
scenario where he took EPO knowing the ITA were coming testing him? They would have known within 3 days, absolutely. So like, what went on there? Maybe they must have somehow like fucking flown into the country
Yeah.
on the cover of Night. Like it's mental.
And that's ITA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're on a mission. They got Dimitri Chumak as well.
Yeah, that was That was a really funny one.
Wouldn't take the bribes.
Yeah. It's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
That's so
It's
That
crazy.
was what Max Ada kept saying. It was just like so embarrassing to like, man, I'll give you this. I'll pay you this much, and they're like, dude.
No, it's not. Yeah, surely you read the vibes, like read the room, like you know if someone's going to take a bribe, like that's like you know if someone's going to take the money off you, like
Yeah.
Oh man, dude.
All right.
Well,
Yep.
I
Zach, you know what your next video is
what?
with this.
Oh no, I'm doing this. I'm doing a video right now, bro.
Oh.
I'm going to fucking press record right now.
Oh my god, we look forward to it. We'll enjoy. Thanks for coming on, Zach.
Thanks,
you.
Zach.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye. We'll talk to you later. All right, lads. There you have it.
That's it.
I don't know what else to say. I think we said it all. We had like guests. We were shocked. Genuine live reaction.
Yeah.
Keith Galvin and the
Someone says Claire for Sam.
It's not true.
It's obviously Mayo for Sam. Like,
It's not true. Claire can't. I
okay.
actually don't think the Sam can come into Mayo. Or fucking Claire can.
Thanks very much for tuning in. Please like this video.
Just like it.
It makes a massive difference for us. Thanks.
After
Thanks.
we post this, we'll post it immediately. If you could like it and then go leave a comment.
Yeah, or send it to one of your friends.
Silver Simon, that's actually good. So, brief conclusion. The International Testing Agency, which are a separate agency from WADA, test all sports, have been aggressively pursuing weightlifting, went to China in October, tested Liu Xiaojun on the 22nd of October, and he tested positive for EPO or erythropoietin, and it's just been released. And here we are. I feel like it's a shame to leave a live stream with 348 people on it.
Yeah. I think a lot of you are probably asking why he might be taking EPO. It's very likely he's taking EPO for increased red blood cell count, which allowed him to bring greater amounts of oxygen to the muscle cells, allow him to train harder. People always think about it as a cycling drug, but as kind of Gerf said, he could just be sprinkling a little bit of EPO in there. You know, he's an aging athlete, needs to increase that training volume, needs to get better quality of training done. We know bodybuilders take it. We know the Chinese are very, very into bodybuilding and hypertrophy work for its angiogenic effect, so its ability to increase the amount of blood vessel tissue. EPO will be along the same lines. So,
sorry, Declan O'Sullivan just raised a very good point there as well. So I was saying it's surprising that he took it at the time, and that has further evidence that it doesn't make sense because China, especially in October, in the midst of heavy COVID lockdowns, like if you're a shipyard worker, you couldn't leave your ship, you couldn't leave the dock, like you couldn't go in, like massive lockdowns. That's what the protests were about, and they would have been in stasis for ages. You know, someone would have tipped them off. Whew.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for watching. Do you want to edit out the Q&A?